All right, what's up everybody? Hooked on Family. It's Captain Scott Brown, and then I got my son Grayton with us. So thanks for following our little adventures and tutorials. You know, the ultimate goal is just to get more parents knowledge in the art of fishing so that way they can get their kids out there on the water to become successful. So today what we're going to talk about is snapper fishing with young kids. As far as any fishing is concerned, this is all catered towards that 4-year-old to infant. So let's get right into it. Snapper is a bottom-dwelling fish naturally. They do come up into the water column, but they like to inhabit places where they can get into structures such as mangroves, bridge pilings, tree roots. There's a vast variety of habitat that a snapper can inhabit. And so with that being said, what you have to think about as far as location when taking your kids snapper fishing is my kid going to be casting anywhere near structure? If he is, you have to mentally prepare yourself for getting hung up, having to break some lines. With that being said, you really don't want to go in there and be too invasive. So be mentally prepared for your kid to be casting in the mangroves. Happens all the time. Be patient with them, and then just have a quantity of hooks and line on board to be able to supplement the lost tackle. Let's go right into bait. You can use artificial, but we'll get into that later on. What we like to do is live bait. What kind of live bait do we use, Grayton?
Mullet, pinfish, mullet, and
We like to use small finger mullet, small pinfish, live shrimp, and even small live crabs. We have that live well in the back. That live well, whenever fishing gets boring for your kids, turns into an aquarium that kids can go back and check out. So when you have all your live shrimp, live mullet, whatever the bait may be, it turns into an aquarium ultimately and gives your kid that entertainment to keep him or her out on the water longer. So let's talk about tackle. What kind of rod are we using today, Grayton?
spin rod.
We got the spinning rod, and what we have is a 6-foot medium action St. Croix. This is the perfect rod for a 4-year-old, and here's the reason why. You got that 6 foot, which gives him not too much rod to where it's hard for him to cast, but it has the leverage to be able to pull out fish out of the mangroves or out of that structure. So we use the medium action because it's got good stiffness. You still got the flexibility to cast, but again, you have that power to be able to pull the medium-sized snapper out of the mangroves or wherever these snapper are. The next thing is, the ultimate reason why we use St. Croix's Premier Series and 6-foot medium action is because it's light in the hand, and kids need a very light rod so that they are able to cast. Whenever you hand them a 7-foot medium heavy rod, it takes a toll on their wrist endurance. And so ultimately, you're only gonna get maybe 5 to 10 minutes out of your kid fishing with a regular adult size spinning rod. So 6-foot medium action St. Croix Premier. Go check out St. Croix. They have a vast variety of sizes and actions for their Premier Series, but we stick to that 6-foot medium action. Oh man, good thing we got more. All right, so we'll go right into our terminal tackle, leaders, hooks, and sinkers. What we're using today is a knocker rig to catch our snappers. The reason why we use the knocker rig as opposed to artificial is because it's hard for a young kid to be able to set the hook with artificial, as opposed to using a circle hook. The mechanics behind the circle hook is you just reel tight, and the design of the hook hooks the fish with minimal amount of movement. So the fish essentially hooks itself. You combine that with a 1/4 ounce sinker, a piece of live bait, and then a 2.5 foot piece of 25-pound fluorocarbon, and you got yourself a fish slayer. So you put your live bait on, you pitch it around the structure, and you just let your kid reel tight. So you set your drag, make sure you mentor them on the bow of the boat, and then just having fun from there. So that's really about it for us snapper fishing down here in the lower keys. You got anything to add, big man? Yeah, we can just go snapper fishing. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys get your kids out snapper fishing. Remember, target those kid-friendly fish. Ultimately having fun, and then make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and then join us for our next episode. Then the snappers come here. We'll see you guys.